Welcome. We are the Ancestral Medicine Women. We would like to welcome you to the year 2023. Every year for some years now we have given a message at the beginning of the year. This year, the word that we are and the energy that we are choosing is courage. And, people might think that over the past few years, people have needed a lot of courage to survive, to continue on, to adapt and to redevelop themselves or redefine themselves. And they have needed that courage to do it, because it takes a lot of courage to look at the self and then decide how you want to go forward and then actually do the doing. And that's really where the courage comes in. It's the doing, not just the thinking of the doing. Here we feel that courage is going to be a really important energy that people can draw on. And if many people are practicing this, the energy of their own courage, then that of course will develop and exponentially increase, and more people can be involved in that in their own way, their own courage. Now, courage is an interesting concept because courage can be quite reckless. People can be courageous to the point where they actually can cause harm to themselves and others. Courage can also be something on the other end of the scale that cannot be enacted. So there is cowardice, if you like, or an inability. They freeze and they can't actually move into that space of being courageous. And then you have that middle ground, which is generally considered to be quite measured, balanced, well thought out, but you still have to step out of your comfort zone. You still have to step out of your own skin, if you like, and move into a space that is not familiar, sometimes not wanted, and can be a little bit frightening, sometimes a lot frightening. And that's that middle ground. It takes courage to do all of that. We think courage is something that is going to be required in the coming year, because even though there has been a lot of change and upheaval in the past few years, now this year is going to show, if you like, will be the reckoning of all of that. And people will have made decisions about their life. They will have, in the past few years, they will have made changes. And now they have to, as things return to a semblance of normality, as things become a little bit more as they were, if you like, even though there are many changes, they're going to have to face the decisions they've made and face the changes that they've made. And the courage is going to be in the measure. So being measured, being balanced. Not running away because they realize that they've made a mistake or it's all too hard. Not doggedly pursuing something because they don't want to admit they've made a mistake or that it's too hard. But actually really looking at themselves and really understanding within themselves the decisions that they've made, the changes that they've made, and how that is working out for them. And is this something that they really want in their life? Or was it a reaction to the events that were going on and the environment that they were in? Courage is a rare commodity, or it is an expensive commodity, and it can take its toll. And sometimes people who are courageous and step out of their skin to do something different, to be something different, no matter the consequences, they not only have to have the courage to do that, but they have to have the courage to stand up to their society and the people around them, the norms of their society, their community, their governments, their peers. And they have to have the courage to keep going. And that can be exhausting. That can be trying and tiring. And it can not only wear you down emotionally and mentally, but energetically and physically. And this is when the knowing that you've made the the decision to do whatever you've done, or to think the way that you think, or to make the changes that you've undergone, knowing that you have actually thought about these things and they're not knee-jerk reactions, and they're not just because somebody else is doing it and it seems like a good idea, and not because you're running away from something, not because you just want to stop that and create something else, but because you've really investigated yourself and you've really looked into yourself and discovered that this is actually who I am, what I want to be, who I want to be, where I want to be, and so on. But that takes courage. So the courage is not just in making the move. The courage is in that internal investigation and really facing yourself and really understanding the reason that you've done something and how it's turned out. That takes courage. So before we said it's not just the courage of thinking of something, it's the courage is in the doing. This is one of those things. This is the doing. It's doing the hard work. Because the physical action of doing something, that takes courage, but then reflecting on that and really examining your part, where you are, how it's going, is it the right thing, that takes even more courage, because you then have to examine yourself and you have to be critical. And when we say critical, we do not mean negatively so. We mean actually laying everything out and critically looking at it and saying, how is this working? That's what we mean by being critical. That takes a lot of courage. And then you might have to have the courage to make a different decision. That takes courage. The thing with courage is that, as we said, you might have to do things in the face of a lot of opposition. And it takes courage to do that. But it takes courage to hold the space and hold the space for yourself. And that's what we're suggesting for people this year. A lot of changes have occurred. A lot of things have happened and a lot is still going on. But people are going to need the courage to hold the space. If you can hold the space for yourself, then that energy can be held, spread out if you like, and the space can be held for other people. And then they learn to hold the space. So this year, our word, our energy, our message is courage. And it's courage of holding the space. Holding the space for yourself, or giving the energy to others to be able to hold the space for themselves. So welcome to 2023. We hope that you have a wonderful year. We hope that you look forward, look to the side, look back and look within, and find the courage to do the things that you know are the right thing for you, and to do those things with intent, with thought, and with the motivation that the experiences are meaningful and fulfilling. Many blessings to you all. Thank you.